Hello, everybody. Welcome back to Talkin' Tricks. And today we have two very special guests. I'd like to welcome Eric and Sid, both from the PDX tricking community in Oregon. And they're actually the hosts of an upcoming gathering, Rose City Gathering, that me and Jason have actually participated in the past. So welcome, guys.
Yeah, thanks for
Thank
having
you for
us.
joining us.
Thanks for having us.
So we are on today to specifically talk about your gathering, Rose City Gathering. And I'd like to start out this discussion by saying that I've been there the past two gatherings. Jason has been there in the last gathering. And we definitely have glowing reviews of how we've been treated as guests. I really do appreciate it. And I think you guys stand as a monument for like how gatherings should be treating their guests, making sure they're well paid, making sure they have a place to stay, making sure they're fed. I mean,
That is hugely flattering, man. Thank you.
Thanks so much.
It's kind of.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
I was just gonna say, like, I'm not exaggerating when I'm saying we were treated like kings. So, thank you so much for that. So.
Oh, that's so reassuring. We always get a little bit nervous with how we end up like doing things, and we want everybody to have a good time and all that sort of stuff. So that makes me smile. I love that.
I think one of the things I always say when people are like, "Why do you do that? Like, what's the point?" I'm always just like, "Well, if you had Cristiano Ronaldo in your house, if you hosted a birthday party once every year, and you invited Cristiano Ronaldo, would you expect him to just come through?"
And so Sid is giving this example about Cristiano Ronaldo, and me and Jason are the most washed up athletes of all time. So imagine how they would treat actual tricking royalty. Who knows? Yeah, Jason, do you have anything to say?
Yeah, I just wanted to say beyond like the guest experience, the entire like gathering as it was very fun. You guys had a pretty well organized experience. All the way through. And then also like the last day when we all went to the beach and hung out it wasn't even the beach, it was actually like the lakeside, and we had like jet skis and all that. It was just a really fun time. Good vibes all around.
That was a huge surprise, the jet skis. That came from like one of the local trickers' parents, and he was just like, "Oh yeah, I'll bring them out. We'll throw them." And we're like, you're serious, right?" So I think we were one of the first gatherings, if not the first, to have jet skis.
Come to Rose City Gathering, ride some jet skis.
We have jet skis.
Yeah, absolutely.
It is definitely promised. It's part of the package. Just kidding.
No,
I'm just kidding.
Based on what you just heard, they'll for sure be able to secure it again.
You don't even need to sign a waiver.
Jet skis.
You don't even need
Yeah,
to
they're
sign.
owned by PDX Tricking, operated by PDX Tricking for sure.
Oh man.
Definitely not a random fluke, but
Yeah.
Okay,
got,
but
like,
can
a
we
bumper
actually
sticker of
make
a
sure
2-year
there are
course.
jet skis there this year? Like, is that
well, this year it's this it was the parent of this guy that comes and trains with us and like still trains with us. So it's like it's not exactly like not gonna happen, but it's also like why would
Hey, yeah, if the guy wants to,
the guy wants to bring these jet skis to bring his jet skis. If he doesn't, he
Yeah.
doesn't.
Rose City Gathering, there's a chance of jet skis.
There's a non-zero probability of jet skis.
Well, it's kind of ironic because we're also Florida trickers, and I've gone to Florida gatherings, and I want to say 0% of them have had jet skis, which is very disappointing. So I guess that's a point for the Northwest, the Pacific
Yeah,
Northwest.
big shout outs to Ty and Preston on that one. I don't know if you guys have ever seen Preston trick, but he's absolute local monster for us, and almost like spamming triple corks every session, just doing crazy stuff. I love it.
Yeah, we got caught in the airport with him for 5 hours after Vertigo, and it was a crazy sesh. That kid was throwing dubs and Crocs in the airport
At 1
at
a.m.
like
Yeah.
5 a.m. Yeah, like a ridiculous time.
you guys also have the German trigger. I can't remember his name right now. I regret it, but he's very
he's,
good as well.
Is Ukrainian. You're talking about Oleg.
Yes, correct. Sorry about that.
Yeah, no, all good. Like legs. We call him legs,
Legs.
arms. We call him lots of different names. But yeah, he's absolutely incredible. And there's someone who joined us recently. His name is Alex. I don't know if you guys have seen his tricks. Very sharp kicks, very clean technique. I think he's former adrenaline athlete, but now he's local in Oregon. And
He's
comes
seen the
trains
light.
with us twice a week. Yeah.
Yeah, so essentially what we're getting at is that PDX has a beautiful underground crew that I think deserves a little bit more of the spotlight. And that's not just the newbies that we've been talking about that are killing it, but also I love the oldies there. Like I've talked a lot with Cyrus and some of the old crew from Seattle, and they're just a wealth of knowledge. And I mean they love trick theory, or at least oh man, I'm drawing a blank on his name. But
Seattle.
yeah, he's a Seattle
Jared.
tricker. Yeah,
Jared.
Jared,
yes.
I knew it as soon as you said it. Yeah.
Jared loves trick theory. I love talking to him about trick theory. It's a great mix out there and very good vibes. There's never like, I don't know. I feel like some communities I go to and I like, sometimes there's a little weird vibes. They're just like, it's all love. So.
Yeah, that is again so good to hear, because I get super worried with the tricking community. We're very off and on and kind of clicky in some ways, but you know, like as long as more people like Jared end up owning gyms and creating communities, like we are set. We are good to go for the future. Like I'm so happy with our neighbors.
That's awesome. And then so something else I did want to bring up about the gathering is I did like the structure of it too, because I know it's not really easy to plan out a gathering. There's a lot of stuff that goes into it. I think you guys hit a really good mix of like there's structured time for seminars and battles and stuff like that, but a good majority of the time is like just trick, do whatever you want, like just hang out, like do stuff. I'm a big fan of that format. I don't like it when gatherings are too strict on like we're doing this at this time, this at this time, this at this time. At the same time, I do want a little bit of it because it's like, you know, planning to go to the park and trick is nice.
You gotta have a balance between the two.
Yeah, for sure. You gotta have like time for people to just like train, because like, you know, like I hate being like halfway through a training session and then all of a sudden it's like, oh, seminar. It's like I haven't even warmed up, bro. Like, come on.
Literally.
Yeah, you guys were insanely flexible with us. Actually, we had this miscommunication between a couple different things, and you guys were totally chill and we're like, yeah, we'll start in like 30 minutes or so, we'll do this thing. And we were in like super sunshine, you know, open grass field and parks with a water fountain right next to it and all this stuff, and all these people were walking by staring at us as you guys just did your whole workshop right there in the park. So it was really memorable for me. I think I still have those videos saved on my phone.
Nice.
It's good times.
Yeah, I really enjoy doing a workshop every year that I'm with you guys. So that's awesome. I hope to do another one this year. I think we did briefly.
Bryce, come through, Bryce.
Bryce is
on my calendar.
Yeah, and so I mean that's part of also what we want to announce in this podcast is me, Jason, and Bryce will all be there. So talking tricks at a gathering for the second time ever. By the way, this has only ever happened once in the past, and it was at Central Florida Gathering. Come through to that as well.
Seems to be occurring with increased frequency as of late, boys. Got some positive momentum behind us here.
Yeah, I noticed that. You guys have been blowing up all over the place and getting attention. Feel good?
I mean, I would hope so, yeah. Nick Vale helped that a little bit. But I mean, it was great to have him on, so I enjoyed it. But also, part of what made it possible is a lot of gathering hosts like you guys that support us, so we appreciate it.
Thank you, man.
Yeah.
So we want more people to be recognized, and if we can create an awareness for those kinds of things, then we can, you know, blow stuff up and make people kind of huge. Like Marcus is a good example, the young god. Yeah, when we first wanted to have him as a guest at the first RCG, we talked to his mom and she was like, "Are you sure? He's like 10. Like he's a little kid. You want to make him like a professional athlete?" And we're like, "Yes, we don't expect him to teach. We don't expect him to do any of that stuff. We just want him there because he's that good and he's that fun to be around." So, you know, after that, he started getting invited out to other places. And a year later, he's landing, you know, quad full and being Marcus. So I'm very happy to be a part of that kind of journey and that kind of, you know, linear progression, or I guess it's a crazy exponential growth for that kid.
Oh my god! I mean, I saw him trying trip the other day, or he did trip dub, I should say. So trip is right around the corner. I'm pretty sure for him.
I mean, he might be
the future.
He might be the first person to do like a shuriken cutter and a trip in like the same combo. Like he might do that. Like
I could see
That
that.
kid is so good.
You could tell me that Shosei's already done that, and I wouldn't believe you. But yeah, I mean, I reserve.
Honestly, maybe he has.
I don't.
He
I
probably
couldn't
has.
tell you.
It's Jose.
Yeah.
I stopped
Some-
keeping track with that kid, honestly.
It's hard. It's hard to keep up with Sosa.
Yeah.
But the samplers are always such good vibes.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Absolutely love this kid sample.
Yeah. So I mean, in terms of this upcoming Rose City gathering, you guys did actually offer for us to judge once again, which we've done in the past, some of the battles. But you also offered us to MC a little bit of the gathering, which we are all very excited to do, honestly. So you can catch us there, kind of narrating some things, probably narrating some tricks, almost like a live action dissects. So that should be fun.
Yeah, that I'm kind of excited for. I'm hoping like during the battles we'll have one of you guys or maybe even all of you guys actively commenting on what tricks they're doing and what different variations they're going for, and have kind of like you'd be like our Joe Rogan commentator. Yeah.
Frank and Bryce are gonna have to brush up. I'm the speed caller here.
He is. Jason is so good at just like he calls it as it happens, and I still have not learned that skill. So I'm quite literally gonna practice. Like I'm gonna be watching videos on my own, being like this, like naming the tricks.
That's
Dude,
what I did
that's
for
what it works.
RCG2, because you're basically taking the job from me, and I'm like thankful to let it go. Because the first year, you Frank, you were there for the first year. Do you remember me announcing the tricks and getting like maybe half of them wrong because I can't just like look at a trick and be like, and it was like pretty early. It was like a little earlier in my tricking like knowledge.
Yeah, I think I do remember that, but it was
Yeah,
it was kind
people
of
looking at me like that's not what that was, and I'm just like, yeah, I know, I just like got it wrong in the moment.
honestly
Try my
said
best.
it's okay because it was adorkable and you're adorkable, so it's okay. So, but yeah, I'm more than excited to be emceeing. But yeah, I mean, Jason, unless you have anything else to say about that.
No,
Okay.
I'm grateful for, like you guys said, like you guys aren't really inviting us for our technical abilities because, as Frank has alluded, we are older. But at the same time, I mean, like we still trick though. We'll still do dubs, we'll still, but at the same time, you're not necessarily inviting us because we're, pioneering the power trick scene or anything like that. And we're totally
Yeah,
grateful.
that's why we
and
bring Marcus, dude.
yeah,
That's why we
perfect.
have an 11-year-old.
Jason's
Well,
talking out of his ass, alright? I haven't been tricking because I live in bitch-ass Scranton, Pennsylvania, but I'm about to move to Atlanta, and I'll have regular trickers around me. So I'm actually going to become a power tricker again. So this is me announcing my comeback. Watch out for it.
Yeah.
It's not actually going to happen. I'm just going to do corks all day. I'm literally just
Yeah,
going
me
to
too.
do cork swings. But yeah. But to move on, you guys do have a new bounty system, and I'd
Yeah.
like to hear all about it because you guys alluded to it, but we don't fully know all the details still.
Yeah,
Well, that
so-
kind of plays into like what Jason was just talking about. Like one of the reasons we have you guys coming as guests is because of your technical knowledge and your ability to understand tricking as a whole. So there's a mastery level to that we can like really take advantage of, and the bounty system itself is prime for that kind of ability because it needs that kind of accuracy.
Mhm.
And the actual like bounty system itself, Adam, you can take that one because you did a whole bunch of work setting all this up.
Yeah. So we put it online. So essentially, what you can do is when you get your RCG ticket, right? You can basically like you can put in for any bounty. So it's like a giant pool, right? And all the bounties are like on our website. They only cost $1, right? Which means you can essentially buy like you can essentially like decide that you're gonna put in like $5 to this bounty or $1. It doesn't really matter, but it will create a value for the trick that will then be done during the night show. So let's say a bunch of people put in for I don't know, guys, like name a trick that you maybe want to see at the gathering.
A Fei Long
One we
gyro.
did last year
Oh,
was
okay.
Slaughtermelon, right?
Oh, we did do Slaughtermelon, yeah. Do you guys remember Dragonfly Cork Snafu? That was another one.
That's a good one.
I like that.
Yeah, I liked it a lot. It was really hard. Someone had to do it on tram.
That was
So yeah, Ethan did it on floor, but everyone else was like, I don't know if I can do that.
hmm.
Um,
Amazing.
Insane.
yeah. So for example, like, wait, sorry.
Slaughtermelon, yeah. So yeah, we have
Slaughtermelon, thank you.
slaughtermelon, yeah.
Yeah, so let's say Slaughtermelon is like, it's on there. You essentially buy your ticket for the gathering, and then you can add on, like however much money for Slaughtermelon, and then everybody, hopefully does that. And then there's like a value assigned to the trick after, after all the tickets are bought and after, when the gathering starts, there's essentially a value assigned to that trick, right? I think PDX tricking takes a phenomenal amount. But there will be money put up for that, and it'll be essentially crowdfunded from the people who are coming to the gathering. Nice. So,
yeah, we have bounties that are combos as well as singular tricks from all of our guests, as well as some individuals that'll be putting in like, hey, if you want to see me do this trick, support the tricker, and this money goes to the tricker as well as funding the gathering and making more stuff happen.
Yeah,
so
that's one of the best parts personally for me, because I love making sure that like Cristiano Ronaldo is paid for coming to my birthday party. So
yeah,
so like the guest bounties themselves, they're valued a little bit more. They're like $10 on our website. And you can buy into those, but that money will go like to the guests themselves. So like during the night show, they'll do their own bounty that they've created, and then they'll get paid out for that.
So you guys are
essentially it's essentially just here's like essentially just like a way for you to support your favorite tricker at the gathering in a way that's like really fun, because it's like, hey man, like, I want you to do this trick, and they'll be like, all right, bet, and then they'll do it,
Quite literally
I will happily
bet money
pay
on it.
$10 for
literally.
quad cork. Yeah.
Oh, I would.
Literally.
That's a small amount for a quad cork.
It's a small amount for a quad cork.
Definitely worth it.
I mean, if it's not worth it to you guys, will you do it? No, right? So it's like, if you guys, if essentially like if you guys put up a bounty that's like, yeah, I'm willing to do this, and nobody puts in for it, or like one person puts in for it, then it's like not worth it to do.
Yeah.
Then you won't do it.
Yeah. I also like that you incentivize guests to participate in the gathering, because I mean, like, and I'm not gonna bash people, but there have been times where guests don't participate in the gathering, and it might be because of other circumstances like being injured or whatever it might be. But regardless, it is nice to, okay, if you see this big tricker here, that they are doing either their big trick or they're talking to people or they're participating in the gathering itself. So I think that's a good incentive for that.
It's never been like a big push for me to like force trickers to trick at the gatherings, because like like especially guests, like y'all are going to like someone like Ethan is going like every single gathering.
Yeah,
and, like,
he was injured his first year.
Yeah, my boy is tired. My boy is tired by the time he gets to Portland, and like something I want for him is just like, hey man, like have a vacation, like go like explore Portland with Annika, like just like. Go and have fun, man. Like, go like just like chill. Like, I don't expect any one of my guests to trick at the gathering, but if there's a way that they can do it in a way that's like, not only like, it's optional for them, but it's also like if you do your bounty, then you get a little bit extra on top of what we already pay you, which is which is great.
Yeah, you're a guest because of who you are to tricking, not because of your tricks.
Yeah. Wait, what's that quote from Scott Skelton? Tricking doesn't need your skills; it needs your soul or something. I don't know.
It needs
your soul. Jesus Christ!
I like that.
Yeah, no,
oh my goodness!
I was just thinking of the
close,
first Snatch Cannon video, but that's Tim Farley. That's a different person.
Needs your
no,
soul.
That's a very different quote.
They are both Australian, and all those
different
Australians
quote.
do look the same. That's true.
It's the crazy hair, honestly.
PDX tricking does not condone the views of
Price. Amazing.
The views expressed in talking tricks.
Oh man. All right. So in terms of the bounty system, if I'm not mistaken, there was like an online portion of it, like people can participate.
Yeah. So it's like they're essentially just for purchase on our website, right? So we'll crowdfund as much as we can for these bounties. We'll assign a value to them. For the night show that will be happening, I assume the first day is what we're gonna try and do, and then so like all the bounties will be done with by like the end of the day. But if you guys want to like, because I do want to keep like random bounties open for people, like so like if anyone wants to come up to me during the gathering and be like, hey man, like I want to see someone do this, and I'm willing to put a little bit of cash down for it. I'll be like, bet, and I'll just do
Nice.
it. Like, I'll just like have people. I'll just announce it on the spot because I I loved the vibe of RCG1 where we just had like people coming up to me and just being like, hey, like I want to do this bounty, like I want to put this down, and like some of those ideas were so creative in a way that I like personally couldn't have been in that moment. So it's
Mhm.
just like really excited to have people who like are coming through and like giving us like different tricks to like challenge people with like because that's like our entire vibe like
Mhm.
at Sesh is like
Yeah.
a lot of the time it is us just being like especially telling is mostly Kaivon to do the weirdest things we could possibly think of because that man will do anything if you ask him to. He'll be like, okay, and then he'll try it.
Mhm.
I love how these bounties are going to get incorporated into the night show, especially for that kind of reason. The way people will see it is they'll go onto our website pdxtricking.org. There'll be a section just for the bounties, and it'll have not only the guests that are doing the specific bounty, but it'll have either QR codes or a description of what tricks they'll be doing,
Nice.
as well as multiple option donations. So you'll be able to pick and choose where you want to put your money and what you want to see, and all of that goes directly to funding tricking and making more trickers have been paid for their tricks. So
Nice.
that's the goal. Is I want everyone to get paid for their tricks, not just the people who can quad cork. I want everyone to have a value that they can see, and if we can create a system that works, then hey, capitalism at its finest, right?
It's huge. I love it. And then in terms of the night show and doing the bounties, so you're saying anyone can essentially do whatever gathering bounty is up. Do they just do it on the floor right there, and we make a call on if it's the bounty or not, or do they post it online, or like what? How does that work?
Yeah, we're gonna do it live. It's gonna
Okay.
happen like right there.
Nice.
We did an online thing a while ago, and it worked kind of well, but it ended up being a
Mm-hmm.
lot of background work in terms of like just like having to judge it, having to decide which is which, and I think having you three there like.
Mm-hmm.
Who are we to judge these tricks when we have three of the foremost trick theorists on hand, you know? Like I feel like you guys could just be like, okay, yeah, that for sure was the thing, or like, nah, that wasn't, or you could just be like, it was there, but that was not good. Like, you
Yeah,
could just be
yeah,
like,
we can
no,
we
that
can
wasn't.
assist with like close calls and essentially like help
Yeah,
kind of figure out, especially if someone does some like weird unexpected thing,
Mm-hmm.
we
yeah,
could help kind of bridge the gap.
Yeah.
exactly,
And if you've ever watched any of our dissects, we are pretty honest about stuff. Like even if it's like a really big name tricker, like Ethan doing something, we'll tell you if it's like under rotated or not. We'll be like, I don't know if I count that. So we will be honest at the gathering. So
Something I like that you guys do is you're not only hypercritical about things, but you're very genuine and nice about how you go about it. You're like, oh,
mhm,
that's under rotated, and if it did this, it'd be able to do that, blah 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 blah. So it's
mhm.
this building of So I love the way you guys dissect stuff.
Thank you.
I'd like to, my current thing is like there's no accidents in tricking. Like everything has a purpose, everything has a use, even if it's not immediately like in front of you or
Yeah.
like available
All,
to you. But
all tricks that you could do that could be done, they're like paint in your, in your painter's wheel.
Hmm.
The fact that you haven't come up with a good combo for it yet, a good picture for that color yet, doesn't mean that that color's bad, right? It just means you haven't come up with a good combo for it yet. So yeah, all of
Yeah.
these tricks are good, even the ones that we were like, oh, that's under rotate. It's like, no, you can come up with combos where it makes sense to do it that way, and it's just better. You're just not thinking of
Right.
it that.
right.
It reminds me of like improv music, or like maybe even like avant-garde jazz. No wrong notes.
Hmm. That's exactly it. So yeah, that's kind of the view we take. So I'm glad you've kind of taken a liking to that,
That's
Eric.
cool.
So yeah. Do you guys have anything else to say about the bounty system before we move on?
Um, no, except that I'm really excited about it.
Oh, I'm
Support your
so
trickers.
excited.
Support your trickers.
Yeah.
yeah, I think that that's a really fun and engaging, or a fun way for people to get engaged with the gathering. Like you said, you had a lot of engagement in the first year. I felt like the engagement was pretty good in the second year too. We had a lot of people like trying to do these bounties, trying to get paid for them. And so Yeah, I mean, I personally will be fueling bounties that I think are worth it, even if I'm not necessarily going after them, just because I want to see them done.
Yeah.
I think the only thing I need to mention is check out the RCG Instagram. Because if you want to see like updates as to like where each bounty is throughout the months, leading up to the gathering, that's probably where they'll be. I'll try and create some system that will give you guys updates, maybe like once every 3 weeks, once every month. So
Yeah. So we'll have.
I don't know if we've said this. RCG is Rose City Gathering. Did we say that already?
I don't think we've ever said that.
Maybe
I
not.
don't think
Just
so.
RCG
No.
all the time.
Yeah,
Rose
you're
City is what Portland is colloquially known as in Portland, which, fun fact, not the only place that calls itself Rose City.
Interesting.
And we're having a gathering there.
Yeah. So come to Rose City Gathering at the Mile High
Hey.
City.
Colloquially,
Mile High.
Also known as the Windy City.
It's the Windy Bridge City.
The windy Rose Bridge City.
The city that sometimes sleeps. Anyway.
So fun fact about Portland, it was named on a coin flip because the two people who founded the town were from Boston and Portland, and the guy who was from Portland, Maine, ended up winning the coin flip. So our town is just like a copy of all these different towns. Like we have California culture with like Seattle people. Like it's really strange.
you have no identity of your own.
So
No.
one thing for people who have never been to Oregon before is that it's fucking weird, but like in a cool way. Like I don't know. It's like a different dimension almost. I don't know.
It's actually really
Voodoo
beautiful.
Donuts.
It's really
We
what.
have a literal
Thank you.
shirt coming out this month for our locals that says "Keep Tricking Weird" on it, and it's a play on a Portland stereotype of it being like a weird spot, weird place for sure.
It
There's
is.
a big tourist attraction in downtown Portland. It's just giant, bold yellow letters says "Keep Portland Weird," and then it's right next to like the Saturday market where people are juggling dolls with their hair on fire and stuff like that. Like it's a weird place.
So definitely a weird spot.
I love it.
Yeah.
I always enjoy Oregon whenever I'm there. In terms of the bounty system, I do want to say that I really enjoyed what you were bringing up, Sid, about like the first year when like I remember like literally going up to you and being like, I want to see this trick, and like paying you some money. It was so much fun. I love that. So I'm very glad that's making a comeback this year. Yeah, I don't know.
We'll accept cash and Venmo, I guess. Like that'll be how we do things.
Yeah. I'll have some ones
Support
on
your
me.
trickers.
So
yes.
okay, and so the last thing I do want to break up is that we actually discussed a new segment we might be doing basically at Rose City Gathering, and it's going to be called I don't even know what it's going to be called, but like
It might just be called Break Their Brain and Break Your
their
Brain.
brains, yeah.
but you're going to try to break Talking Tricks' brains. All right, we're going to be emceeing, and you're going to do your weirdest trick or your weirdest combo that you don't think we can name, and yeah,
You as in the viewer, so like the
Yes.
viewer of this.
Mhm.
Hi, you at home.
Yes.
And
Yes.
If
You
you
get
would
to
like
Also,
to
also
try and
people at the
break-
gathering, I'm assuming.
Yeah. I mean anyone, but
Yeah.
if you would like to try and break Talking Tricks' brain, send me at PDX _tricking. Sorry. Send me a clip of anything you think is like super weird, super cool, super fun thing that you like to do that you think is brain breaking for Bryce, Frank, and Jason, and I'll create a compilation and we'll just pop it up on one of the screens in our gym, and we'll try and stump the unstumpable.
Yeah. And you could do it in person too. You could do it live, like in front of us, and try to break our brains that way. So, that'll be fun.
I'm looking forward to that specifically. Like that's going to be kind of wild. Just people in front of you being like, blah, 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 and you're like, wait, can we see it again? And they're like, yeah, of course. Here we go.
Hold on, I gotta slow-mo that.
I'm kind of worried because there's like theoretically video resources that people could go and look at to know exactly or what we've told you all we know about this
We struggle about
just,
that. Yeah.
just so you know what to pick that's hard, but who knows, maybe people will do homework, maybe they won't.
We have an
also,
Achilles
if they-
heel,
they-
but
If they take the time to do that and then actually pull it off physically, like bravo to you. Yeah, good job.
Yeah.
you deserve
It's
it.
a shot for your like #1 fans, and they're like, oh, I got this. Like I've been
Yeah.
watching for years. I got them.
I know
My
that he talked about
opportunity.
X. I'm not gonna
I
drop
know, I
any
know
hints.
one of your fans like looks at camera. I know one of your fans definitely should be doing this.
Let's hope there's not a lot of Talking Tricks fans out there, because yeah, that's not good.
Yeah.
Just
Or
Too
or
late,
at
man,
least they
sorry.
have, questionable memories.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, no, I'm super excited for this segment. I think it'll be fun. Me, Bryce, and Jason probably have to huddle a few times. I don't know if it's hard enough. Yeah, maybe get some
that I'm hoping for, yeah.
Yeah, get some colorful, I don't know, descriptions from us. I think it'll be good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
another thing we want to have you guys do at the gathering, if you're up for it, is not only participating in like judging battles, but a part of something that we want to do is create a commentary or a commentator kind of system for battles. And I know, Jason, you have this talent for just, being able to rattle stuff off and call tricks out as they go. And we'd love to have you and Frank and Bryce as our Joe Rogan commentator section that's, doing the play-by-play and the boxing one. There's a real famous boxing commentator that does that as well. But yeah, if we could get that would be a highlight of my night. Someone calling out tricks as they go.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to get some practice sessions in for these other boys because they're a little rusty. But
For the other guys,
We'll make it-
no, I would
Not for me,
definitely
though.
benefit. I
Yeah.
would definitely benefit from it. I won't lie.
We'll get a training montage in somehow.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I'm super excited to do that. Honestly, I think that's gonna test some of my skills in terms of that. So it'll be good.
That's good.
Yeah.
I remember having to do that for like gymnastics and other stuff back in the days. You have to like call it out as it goes and you'd be able to write it down as it goes. So the fact that you can even do that at all with tricks blows my mind.
It's a whole lot harder to do with mainstream than it is to do with the things we've been working on lately. But because just things in mainstream tend to have longer names or names that don't follow sensically from the previous thing. So
I disagree with that, but that's just because my brain is not wired for
no,
it
literally,
yet.
that's why I'm thinking like, oh gosh, if I have to do this for people, I might have to go and learn how to say it in mainstream, and that's going to be weird for me again.
Boys, I'm gonna be real.
I disagree. I am totally fine with all BTT. Like I am fine with you calling out every trick in any way you like. It might be a good way for a lot of people to know it.
We're going for like a we're going for like a lot of spectators this year, especially for the night show. So if you guys wanted to normalize BTT in Oregon, you could do it.
Interesting.
I don't dislike that, but also there may be a value to having a little bit more accessible terminology at the gathering.
I already know 4 names for full hyper hook, so
I'm the most anti-normalized BTT on the team, but we'll see what we come up as a consensus for what we'll do. So we'll see.
Cool.
But yeah, I mean, unless you guys have anything else to say, I would like to ask about the dates, and so that people know when to show up in Portland.
Yes, it's Friday through Sunday, July 26th through 28th. I think I got those right. Is that right, Adam?
Yep.
All right, cool, good. As I set the dates with the team, I should know them, but my memory is horrible. Holy crap. But yes, July 26th. It's the week after Loop Kicks, so we're actually doing a bit of coordination with Loop Kicks. We've been in discussions with Mark as well. Shout outs to that guy. I think they're having their 20th anniversary this year, so we're going to go down and support them and help, bring some people to Loop Kicks, and in turn, they're all going to be coming up with Marcus and Mark and all those. Taita probably as well is going to be up there this year and hanging out and doing stuff. July 26th through 28th.
That's
boom,
exciting.
boom, boom.
RCG is going to be huge just because of the Loop Kicks overflow. That's going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah, I'm very excited for that. I'm hoping we can get some international trickers to come to RCG as well. We had Sung Jun there this last year, and he was amazing. Not only just his tricking ability, but the dude's energy was just smiles all around. Like he was everybody's best friend.
Yeah, he was a cool guy. I actually did train with him as well, which was cool. I would never imagine getting that opportunity. So.
Oh yeah.
Right.
No,
that's another thing is we got to talk to him and do a Korea travel and just take a bunch of trickers over to Korea and do some fun stuff over there.
Yeah, we have. I think we still have a year and a half. He's still got to do his Korean military service. But then after that, he said he was going to come through again. And I have until then to learn Korean, so.
Sweet. 2 years. Let's do it.
That's so sick. Okay, well, I'm gonna have all the information in the description below, their Instagram handle, their website, anything else they want me to put. But yeah, thank you guys for being on. It was a pleasure to talk to you guys. I love talking to you guys every time. I'm glad.
Likewise, yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad that Talking Tricks and Rose City Gathering has formed this relationship. So I'm excited to be back in Oregon.
Yeah, same here.
Oregon
was
we
so
love
much
you
fun.
guys.
It was beautiful. So can't wait to go back.
Yeah.
Sorry, Eric.
Oh no, you're all good. Please keep bragging about your experiences. I love it. I'm excited to have Bryce out here for the first time too.
Yeah, I'm super excited to actually get out there. Yeah.
Yeah, this will be our first time meeting you, Bryce. It'll be fun.
It'll be huge. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. Thank you, Frank. Thank you, Jason. Thank you, Bryce.
See you
No,
guys.
thank you guys.
Yeah.
All right.